For the last 1 year, I have tested 60 plus AI tools and found the 12 tools that remove these 5 bottlenecks with real use cases and workflows anyone can apply, even with limited time. Starting with the first bottleneck, over 40% of workers spend a quarter of their week on repetitive work. This can include managing leads, chasing invoices, building reports, or anything else. For businesses, that's thousands of dollars a month in cost, which is exactly why they will pay big to automate it. Take a look at this gig on Fiverr, which is one of the many on the platform already. Businesses pay between $500 to $2,500 for AI automation workflows. So just being able to sell 2 AI automation workflows a month can rack up to $24,000 a year in income. Once you've built a workflow, you can repurpose and use 60 to 70% of the same setup for different clients by making minor tweaks. And that's exactly what successful freelancers and AI automation agencies are doing right now. There are various tools like Zapier and Make that can let you do this, but the one I have found best for AI automations is Anytone. At $24 a month for the monthly subscription, the client gets their own plan to run the automations you build for up to 2,500 executions. You just set it up once, hand it over, and there is no ongoing cost for you. Anytone also has a built-in library of over 4,000 workflows you can clone and adopt to match a client's needs without having to start everything from scratch. Here's a simple example of a workflow I built with Anytone. It pulls the trending posts from Hacker News, runs them through Google Gemini to extract all the information and drops it straight into my Google Drive. That means instead of spending hours over a month to scroll and summarize posts, you get a ready-to-share report in minutes, fully automated. And many influencers are using the same workflow to automate their newsletters. But this is just one idea. The real power of Anytone is that you can connect thousands of apps and AI models together like Lego blocks. Once you learn the Lego blocks and how to connect them, you can build all sorts of solutions. For example, to identify new leads, you can scrape LinkedIn, enrich contacts, and drop them into a CRM automatically. Or if you want to research competitors or market, you can have it scrape social media content, pull in the data, have AI summarize it, and deliver reports instantly. You can also automate daily business tasks, from sending contracts to chasing invoices to building dashboards or even recording expenses. Now, building and selling automations is excellent, but have you ever had a business idea you wanted to build but didn't know how to code or didn't have the necessary technical skills? A UK doctor wanted to build an app for his medical practice and got quotes between $75,000 to $100K. He gave up until he found Vibe Coding, where you give plain English instructions and AI turns that into working code and web applications. Now, the same doctor built his healthcare app in just 4 days for $175, featuring nutrition tracking, an AI health coach, medication tracking, and Fitbit sync. Now, I personally don't think AI will replace pro developers anytime soon for complex builds, but most profitable app ideas just solve one problem for a specific group of people who are willing to pay, and they don't require a lot of complexity. If you're a beginner and don't know how to code, Replit and Lovable are great starting points. There is no course needed, just sign up and get your hands dirty and learn as you build. And there is a bunch of free content all over the internet if you want to learn the vibe coding concepts, and there is some more coming on my channel. Now, I personally prefer Replit because it lets you set up payments, Google sign in using authorization, and deploy your app without having to leave the platform. The one thing I do recommend is paying a freelance software engineer $400 to $500 to review your code for security risks before you launch. This is cheap insurance compared to the potential damage of a security breach. And trust me, there is a lot of scary stuff out there on the internet where people just got hacked because they just launched an app and didn't get anyone to review the security. Now, before you start building that $1 million idea you always had, you need to know if people will pay for it. Who's your customer? What do they need the most? Because sometimes there can be a mismatch between what we perceive as a problem versus what the market wants. Here is a Fiverr pro seller who charges $500 for one competitor analysis, all the way up to $2,200 for a growth strategy with just 2 competitors. If you try to do the research yourself without a structured process, you risk missing key insights or focusing on the wrong data. And in the age of AI, speed is your moat. If you take 3 months just to research, someone else will build your same idea before you. Tools like Perplexity, Google Gemini, and Claude all have deep research functionality enabled, which can give you investor-grade market research in under an hour with sources included. Let's say I want to start a new Airbnb rental business in London, and without having to spend tons of time on the market research. I will use this prompt. You're a sharp, concise market research analyst. My business idea is to launch an Airbnb rental in London. Please give me top 3 customer pain points, top 5 competitors ranks with pricing and key features. A short SWOT table, which is strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats. 1 underserved customer need, 1 recommended feature plus ideal customer avatar. All insights in structured format and beginner-friendly language. Please make it actionable, concise with sources for credibility. Run it through all the 3 tools and then merge the results, all for under $75 in subscriptions. You can do this for your own startup idea or set up a gig on Fiverr or Upwork to offer research services in your area of expertise, but supercharged by these AI tools to do the heavy lifting. Now moving to the fourth bottleneck, research means nothing if no one sees your product. 60% of entrepreneurs fail to build an audience, mostly because they don't have time to create content consistently. No content means no funnel and no one is looking at your offerings, and relying on ads alone is very expensive. Quality organic content is far most cost effective and sustainable in the long run. Here's one workflow you can set up to automate this. You can use ChatGPT to brainstorm marketing angles and sticky copywriting for your product or service. I always recommend starting with your own first draft and then using AI to just polish it. But once you've done that, you drop that final copy into Gamma AI to instantly turn it into a polished slide deck or a LinkedIn carousel or a landing page. You can then publish it or record a short video on your phone, then edit and repurpose it into clips using Descript. Plenty of entrepreneurs use this exact combo of AI tools to produce AI-powered content for their businesses in days instead of weeks. Now, a word of caution, AI-generated content still needs your human touch. Review it, personalize it, and make sure it still feels like you, because I don't know about you, but pure AI content just doesn't hit it for me. Now, the last bottleneck is simple. If you're like me, you're busy between work, family, and life. There aren't enough hours to start something new or scale your business. If you could get back an extra workday every week without working extra hours, would you do that? Many people don't recognize, but typing is a hidden time thief. 4 hours a day on emails, reports, and notes add up to 20 hours a week. What if you could do this 3 times faster without touching the keys? That's where WhisperFlow comes in. Instead of typing, you just speak. I use this a lot for brainstorming my videos, or when I'm writing my scripts, I just speak rather than type. Or any application which requires text input, I just use WhisperFlow. Since switching, I have produced the equivalent of 180,000 word book in 14 weeks without typing a single word. WhisperFlow saves me on average 1 to 1.5 hours every day. That's 20 to 30 hours a month, which I can put into building, selling, or just having more time with my family. And the cost for this is just $12 a month. And if you take a yearly plan, this goes further cheap. Now, you've just seen how AI can knock down the 5 key bottlenecks we all face, but here is the catch. Even with these bottlenecks removed, most people never turn that freedom into income because the hustles they pick are either overhyped or just don't fit into their busy schedule. That's why you might like this video where I'll show you the 5 lazy AI side hustles that actually work when you don't have a ton of free time. You'll see the specific AI tools to use, how to set them up quickly, and then the 2 mistakes that kill most attempts.